Hey, what's going on everyone? This is Kedar here. Today in this video, we will talk about the latest updates in the student loan debt forgiveness. We will see what is happening in the student loan debt forgiveness. Also, we will receive the 25 billion in loan cancellation. Also, do you qualify for the PSLF, that is a public service loan forgiveness? What is your qualification criteria for PSLF? Also, what will Biden do on loans? We have a lot to cover in this video. So without further ado, let's get started. Now here is the common question you might be having. If you have taken a student loan, is it really possible to have your federal student loan forgiven, or are you getting any sort of help to repay them? Well, the answer is yes. But however, there are very specific eligibility requirements that you should meet qualify for the loan forgiveness or to receive help with your repayment. Well, the loan forgiveness means you don't have to pay back all of your loans and you'll never know what you may be eligible for. So let's take a look at some of the options they have listed over here. First one is teacher loan forgiveness. Over here, certain elementary or secondary school educational service agencies with low income families meeting other qualification requirements may be eligible for total forgiveness of up to 17,500 on eligible federal student loans. And speaking of the public service loan forgiveness, that is PSLF, if you work full-time for government or non-profit organization, you may be qualified for the forgiveness of the entire remaining balance of your direct loans, and that is after you made 120 qualifying payments, that is 10 years of payments to benefit from the PSLF. And you should repay your federal student loans under income driven repayment plan. Also, speaking of the income driven repayment, that is RDR plans, income driven repayment plans is based on your income, and any remaining balance on your student's loan will be forgiven if you make a certain number of payments over a certain period of time. Also, you got military service, AmeriCorps, and other options like student loan forgiveness. Biden actually favors and want Congress to pass a law that would forgive up to $10,000. And now, obviously, there are some Democrats who want a lot more forgiveness. For example, Bernie Sanders said forgive all student debt, while Elizabeth Warren said up to 50,000. And Biden all along, he said no, that's too much actually. And while a Congress is not going to pass a law, so there is a question, can Biden through his executive actions could try to do this? Well, then there might be a legal challenges, but though probably there is a good chance he would stick to that. But we have been hearing rumors, really for weeks now, Biden is going to do this through his executive actions, and some rumors while saying that he's not going to do that. He was probably planning to do it over the weekend, except the school shooting in Texas last week. So maybe the timing is bad as of right now. I think the White House at this point needs to either say something at this point regarding this, because there is a lot of lack of transparency regarding this subject. Although President Biden is still considering a $10,000 check under an executive order, even though Biden hasn't acted on student loan forgiveness yet, Department of Education has been busy over past year and half. More than 25 billion in student loan debt has been already forgiven since Biden took office in January 2021. About 1 in 5 Americans owe money on student loans, in total of 1.6 trillion, or an average of $37,000 per borrower. Now, speaking of the student loan forgiveness, here is what you should know about how your debt forgiveness could affect your credit score and why you might continue to make the loan payment even though you are not required. 7.3 billion in student loans discharged for public servants in October last year. Public service loan forgiveness program made 22,000 borrowers eligible for debt cancellation, and these policy changes enable more than 550k borrowers who had consolidated their loans and were eventually become eligible for the debt forgiveness. Although PSLF cancels the remaining balance on student loan, in order to be qualified, loan borrowers still need to be qualifying should have done 120 monthly payments. Also, anyone who works for a federal or state or local government agency can apply for this program, and these including teachers, firefighters, military members, nurses, and other employees in the public sector. PSLF program already cancelled 7.3 billion student loan debt for 127k borrowers during the Biden's term. In order to receive this relief from PSLF program, first you need to submit PSLF application by October 31st, 2022. And if you need to consolidate your debt to qualify for PSLF relief, this process can take up to 45 days. So build time into meetings that end of the October deadline. Also, speaking of borrowers with disabilities, 5.8 billion in student loans has been discharged for them. In August last year, Department of Education allowed 323 million student loan borrowers with total and permanent disabilities have cancelled more than 5.8 million of their federal loans. And borrowers with these disabilities no longer have to apply for the relief, but they will be determined by the data matches in the Social Security Administration, which begin identifying these borrowers on a quarterly basis in September last year. Before the policy changes, about half of the borrowers with total and permanent disabilities were identified as an eligible one via Social Security matches and had already received forgiveness. If you believe you might qualify for the student loan relief from this disability program, you can head over to the ssa.gov to apply for the online disability benefit. You need to be 18 years or older, not currently receiving benefits on your Social Security record. If you are unable to work because of a medical condition that is expected to last at least 12 months or result in a death and have not been denied disability benefit in last 60 days. If you meet for these needs, you are eligible for the program. And throughout the 2021 and 2022, Department of Education has announced specific relief measures for the student loan borrowers who attend colleges and universities that made fraudulent claims on their schools and mislead students when they were applied for the loans. And these loan discharges include ITT Technical Institute. About 115k borrowers were given 1.1 billion in loan cancellation in August 2021. Also, DeBerry University in February, 16,000 borrowers received 415 million in student loan discharges. In Marinello Schools of Beauty, due to pervasive and widespread misconduct, 28,000 borrowers had 238 millions in loan discharge in April. Also, 560k borrowers in 1st June got claim discharge of 5.8 billion as part of a largest defense claim. Also, 264,000 and more borrowers set to receive student loan relief for defense claim. And if they have approved by a judge, the proposed settlement will provide student loan debt relief from more than 50, mostly for profit colleges, and significantly reduce backlog of defense claims that began during President Donald Trump administration and grew during Biden administration. But speaking of the current situation, honestly, borrowers are left in the dark without any sort of a clear communication from the Biden administration from their future plans. Borrowers are left in a very weird situation where they must prepare for the payment to receive on 1st September, even though it is unclear that will it ever happen. And after more than 2 years of not being required to make payments on the federal student loans, borrowers might not be aware that the pause is even lifting, and without the ability for the loan service to warn borrowers of their upcoming deadlines, and borrowers might be surprised when the repayment resumes and not be financially prepared to tackle the monthly expenses. Quote, Buchanan said, the further repayment requirements are in the back of someone's mind, and the harder it is to pull forward. It is critically important that we be able to communicate with the borrowers and set them up for our success now. That's the real downside to limiting communication here. Honestly, many borrowers are confused on what to expect next, which truly making difficult to plan for the future. Anyways, borrowers will have to tackle the situations. Well, what do you think about the current situations and how are you gonna handle it? Do let us know your thoughts in the comments down below. I hope you got clear picture on this matter. If this video was helpful, make sure to hit that like, share this video, subscribe to our channel for more of such latest updates. And this is Kedar from How To Guys signing out.